owning many different parts of the user flow. Okay, let's say that there's a director that's that's in charge of Snapchat messages. Another director that's in charge of like the Snapchat like video calling feature, right? Making sure like the video streaming service is like is very smooth, right? Another director who's in charge of like the one of the main things, which is filters when you take a picture, right? And then like a director who's in charge of like just like sending and making sure it's like low latency and the message quickly goes from like user A to user B, right? Those are the 4 directors. So what happens is above that director, the VP is like, okay, I have to really worry about budgeting for 2021. And they're probably already thinking about this stuff in 2020. And this is something that software engineers don't have to worry about. They're just told to do something and the budget for them is already accounted for. But who budgets their salary and who budgets like their project, meaning that they can buy this subscription of like this library to use in their code? Who worries about that? The people, senior director and above typically. So that VP has to be like, okay, I have all these directors under me. Who am I going to give the budget to? And they think in terms of the number of users, like how hot that product is, and how much resources, like how many resources are required to get it done. So that VP at Snapchat, let's say VP of like products, for example, is going to think, okay, I want to give most of my budget, I want to allocate it towards that director of Snapchat filters at the first page, because everyone uses that and that's like super hot. And if that has like less funding, people are just going to stop using Snapchat, right? People don't even go to the messaging sometimes until they just quickly take a picture like in the morning and send like, a filtered picture, right? So he's going to allocate a lot of his money to that in terms of like the budget. And these guys have really big budgets, which is very, very interesting because I don't think I wrote it here. So I guess it was under budgeting, which is when you're high up and in your budgeting, even though you're in the software ladder, you're just like, you grow up writing code and you write code until you hit like, the engineering manager level. A lot of your job is about finance, which is really unintuitive. You're like, I've never done this before. So the higher up you go, and when you get to CTO, a lot of it is like reading like, balance sheets and just like the revenue statements and then things like that, and using that to make informed decisions about where you're going to put your budget and which like director under you you're going to give more funding to for this upcoming fiscal year, right? So that's budgeting. People skills are really huge. And I literally wrote people skills are huge here because as you go higher up, again, you're a people manager. From engineering manager, let me go to this slide. From second level all the way to the top level. Are you managing code? No, you're managing people. You're only managing code when you're at the second level because the software engineers under you are actually shipping code on a weekly basis. So above that, what you're doing is your life looks very different. You have one-on-ones with about like 5 to 6 people that directly report to you. And by the way, that's the typical convention. Like wherever you are, like if you're second level or above, you have about 5 to 6 people reporting to you. It's too much of a headache to have more people. It's tough to like parallelize and still make them feel like they're your friend and your employee that has a good relationship with you by having one-on-ones with them. It's tough to do that for more people. But fun fact, Elon Musk has like over 20, 25 direct reports because he's just, he's crazy like that. But generally, if you have 5 to 6, that's normal. If you have 10, then you're hyper productive. Anything more than that is like, it's kind of unheard of, right? So just a little side tangent. People skills are huge. You have to have one-on-ones with people. You have to keep them happy. Otherwise, they're going to talk to your manager like 2 levels up above them and just complain, or they're just going to like give you bad performance reviews and like the anonymous 360 reviews that happen these days. And you just need to keep everyone happy. So it's important to just have not only people skills, but people skills where you're just like kind of pleasant to be around, right? So that's important at the executive level. Third thing is presentation and demo skills. What are you doing higher up when you're higher up? Like for example, in Snapchat, let's say you're like the director of software engineering for Snapchat filters, right? Let's say your peer is the director of software engineering for, what was the other thing, like the messaging service, right? Both of you want a good budget, and of course, like the VP of product is going to ask you to like pitch why you guys should get like a good budget, or even just a casual demo. He's not going to say like, oh, you're pitching for a budget, but that if I do really well on this, he's going to give me more funding for my team and allow me to increase my headcount, aka hire more people in the next year. So you guys, like you and like the other director, are just going to go really hard with your presentations. You're going to make all the demos look flawless and smooth. And what happens afterwards? The VP is going to be like, you know what? Based off of this guy's numbers of like monthly active users, I think Snapchat filters are just popping way more than like everything else. This guy's going to get the majority of the budget. Presentation and demo skills are really, really key, right? So making sure that you have public speaking skills. A lot of executives literally take classes that are sometimes sponsored by the company to increase their speaking skill level and so that they can really be successful internally, and also when talking to customers externally, so they can pull them in and increase their revenue, right? Fourth thing, alignment with upper management. This is just really important because when you're a software engineer, you don't know what the CTO wants. You don't know what the VP wants. But when you're like even an engineering manager, you kind of catch wind of what the people up top want. And if you're doing something that they don't want, let's say like you're just building something random like Snapchat like shopping, they're gonna be like, that was not like in our business school. That was not like in our 5-month plan or even our 5-year plan. Get rid of that. You have to restart and just like scrap that product, wasted a lot of money. You need to be aligned with what upper management always wants. That's very, very key. Last thing is being able to abstract without getting too technical. This is a problem that a lot of people at the second level right here at engineering managers, they were just software engineers. They just got promoted. They're so used to just talking about things that are super technical. When they talk to like their report, who they report to, which is let's say like the director in this case, the director's gonna be like, I don't want to hear any about any of those details. Don't mention the word Postgres to me. Okay. Don't mention the word like ingress to me. I don't want to hear that. Just like tell me about when you'll have the deadline done and tell me about like what this thing does. Is it a storage service, like a database, or is it something else? You don't need to get into like the code with me, right? That gets increasingly emphasized as you get to CTO, right? The CTO is not going to be like, what's happening in line 33 of the code? No, they're just going to be like, all right, you want to go into the shopping space? Let's just do a little bit of research there, right? That's what the CTO will be telling the GM under them, right? It's like that high level. So these are like the 5 things. And one thing that I heard this quote from someone: if you want to be promoted to the next level, look at the responsibilities that like the person at the next level is doing and just start doing that already. So your manager's going to be like, wait, I might as well just like promote him from like, let's say software engineer to senior software engineer, or senior to staff, because you're already taking on the responsibilities. You're already mentoring young software engineering interns. Might as well just promote him. It won't be any different, right? So always apply the skills, and for management, might as well apply a lot of these skills right here, right? You can have great demo skills. You can like kind of have an idea of what upper management's doing and stick with it. And you can like abstract when you're talking to someone non-technical, like a sales guy or like a marketing lady, right? That's like something that you can just start doing right off the bat. So make sure to always do whatever you want to have the position of. That's very key. Last thing, exit opportunities. And by the way, Hassan, do you have any questions so far? Or does anyone have any questions? I realized that I went kind of fast.